We're talking to officials who are upgrading school emergency plans. ABC 17's Lindsey Burning was at today's training in Jefferson City. And Lindsey, the U.S. Department of Education, emergency responders, and public health officials were all there.
Marissa, Missouri is one of 25 states to receive a $500,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Education. It's to help all schools statewide evaluate and update their emergency plans. Today's training was one of the first steps in the grant to build a planning team that will teach emergency planning to their communities.
The greatest risk aren't the active shooter or the bombing, the terrorist type stuff. While if you have one of those events, it's horrific, the chances of that happening in most of our schools in our state are very, very, very slim. But yet every day they're dealing with things like severe weather, lightning, traffic, the buses transporting kids on hazardous roads.
Paul Fenewald says the most important thing he wants people to take away from the school training is that schools need to build relationships with law enforcement and public safety agencies before emergencies happen.
We need to have those relationships built so that as the emergency unfolds, you may have a plan, but the plan is never going to be address all the issues that come up when you have any kind of a large-scale emergency. And having those relationships already built so that you know who to call.
Jay Reese with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education says all schools in mid-Missouri already have emergency plans in place. But he says once a year the plans need to be reviewed and staff needs to go through the training process to understand what to do ahead of time for each different scenario.
The potential for threats is very diversified across the state and even within our own localities. In our area, first thing that might come to mind would be the nuclear plant in Callaway County. But that doesn't mean that say, schools in Howard County might have a different set of threats.
Linda Barger with Christian County Emergency Management says one plan can't fit every school.
I think it's important that we never say, oh, we've got this down. I think you continually have to look at your plans and keep them updated. It's a living, breathing document. You have to make sure that that's always getting improved.
Fenewald says the next step is for the school safety grant is to teach the people who attended today's training how to help educate their local communities and school districts. He says they'll be having these meetings on a regular basis throughout the rest of the year.
Thanks, Lindsey. And Fenewald also says that the U.S. Department of Education will be giving out surveys to Missouri schools over the next couple of weeks to assess the current quality of their emergency operations plans.